They told him that the numbers on the screen were the score. That if he just added another zero, the noise in his head would stop. We watch Elias climb the mountain of the wealth gap, conquering the peaks of the rat race, only to realize the summit was a graveyard. This isn't a story about getting rich. It is a story about the lie we are sold about financial freedom. It is the autopsy of a soul caught in the debt trap of desire. Today, we open the invisible books. We ask the dangerous question, does more money really make you happy? The Stoic answer will change your life. Welcome to the ledger. Meet Elias. By all statistical accounts, Elias has won. He sits in the top 1%. His portfolio is diversified. His assets are liquid. He has escaped the physical poverty that plagues millions. But Elias is currently drowning in a different kind of poverty, a poverty of the spirit. He is running on the hedonic treadmill, and the speed is set to kill. Psychology calls it hedonic adaptation. It is the brain's cruelest trick. When Elias bought the car, the dopamine hit was like a lightning strike. He felt powerful, validated. For 3 weeks, he believed he had solved the equation of his life. But the brain normalizes luxury. The extraordinary becomes the ordinary. The passive income streams that were supposed to bring liberation only brought a fear of loss. The dopamine faded. The car became just transportation. The watch became just a clock. This is the consumerism paradox. We are programmed to believe that the next purchase will bridge the gap between who we are and who we want to be. But the wealth gap isn't just out there in the economy, it is inside us. It is the distance between our expectations and our reality. Elias makes 6 figures, yet he lives paycheck to paycheck in his mind, shackled by lifestyle inflation. He upgrades his life, and his expenses rise to meet his income. He is not building wealth, he is financing a prison. The Stoic philosopher Seneca, one of the richest men in Rome, whispered a truth across 2,000 years that Elias cannot hear over the roar of his own ambition. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. Elias is poor. He is destitute, because his ledger only accounts for currency, not contentment. He believes financial freedom is a number. He doesn't realize it's a state of mind. Society has weaponized his biology. The entire global economy is engineered to trigger his insecurity. Marketing algorithms know his debt trap triggers better than he knows himself. They sell him relief from the anxiety they created. He works 80-inch hours a week to buy things to impress people he doesn't like, hoping that eventually the external validation will fill the internal void. It never does. Tonight, the silence in the penthouse is deafening. The invisible ledger is unbalanced. He has equity, but no equity in himself. He has leverage, but no leverage over his own emotions. The crash is coming. Not the market crash. The soul crash. And unlike a recession, there is no federal bailout for a bankrupt spirit. To break the cycle of poverty, Elias must first realize he is the one holding the shovel. The breaking point rarely comes with a bang. It arrives in a whisper. For Elias, it wasn't a market crash that broke him. It was a Tuesday. Sitting in a six-figure machine, stuck in traffic, realized he had spent 10 years climbing a ladder that was leaning against the wrong wall. He has achieved what the world calls financial independence, yet he is a slave to the tick of the clock. He is suffering from a spiritual scarcity mindset. This is the paradox that baffles economists. Why does the man with millions fear poverty more than the man with nothing? Because Elias has everything to lose. His identity is wrapped in his net worth. If the line on the graph goes down, he diminishes. He has confused his self-worth with his net worth. He has forgotten the most critical rule of asset allocation. The only true asset you own is your mind. Enter the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. They weren't just philosophers, they were the original high-performance psychologists. They understood that true wealth creation isn't about printing money, it's about minting freedom. Epictetus, born a slave, possessed more freedom than Elias, the master of the universe. Why? Because Epictetus controlled his reaction to the world. Elias lets the world control him. The Stoic answer to the question, does money make you happy? Is nuanced. Money is what the Stoics called an indifferent. It is neither good nor bad. It is a tool. Like a scalpel, it can save a life, or it can sever an artery. Elias has been holding the blade by the wrong end. He has allowed lifestyle creep to bleed him dry, not financially, but emotionally. He is leveraging his sanity for a return on investment that never arrives. Here lies the secret hidden in the ledger. Compound interest works on misery just as it works on capital. Every day Elias stresses over things outside his control, the market, the opinions of peers, the future. He compounds his anxiety. He is investing in his own unhappiness. To break the cycle, he must liquidate his emotional positions. He must declare bankruptcy on the opinions of others. This is the pivot. The moment he stops asking, how do I make more money, and starts asking, what is this money for? Financial freedom is not a destination, it is a byproduct of discipline. The Stoic does not reject wealth, he simply refuses to be owned by it. He is ready to walk away from the gold if it costs him his peace. Elias is about to learn that the most expensive thing in the world is a free mind. But the system fights back. The world does not like a man who says, enough. As Elias prepares to dismantle his gilded cage, the ghosts of his old habits will scream. He is about to face the withdrawal symptoms of dopamine addiction. The real work begins now. He must restructure his entire reality. He must balance the invisible ledger. We murder time. And then we call it a career. Elias spent 20 years believing that money was the scorecard. He subscribed to the toxicity of hustle culture, wearing his burnout like a badge of honor. He traded 50 hours of his life for a paycheck, thinking he was getting rich. He was wrong. He was being robbed. In the ledger of life, The currency isn't dollars. It is minutes. Every time Elias said yes to a meeting. That could have been an email, every time he chased a quick buck in a Ponzi scheme of energy. He paid a heavy opportunity cost. He sold a slice of his existence that he can never buy back. Seneca warned us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. True financial literacy isn't just reading a balance sheet, it's reading the clock. Elias realizes that the wealthy don't work for money, they make their assets work for them. They understand the vital difference between active income demands your life and passive income defends your freedom. Wealth is not the ability to buy Ferraris. Wealth is the ability to wake up in the morning and say, I own this day. He begins to audit his life with the ruthlessness of a forensic accountant. He cuts the fat, the toxic friends who drain his energy, written off, the mindless scrolling that steals his focus, liquidated. He applies the 80-20 rule to his existence. 20% of his actions produce 80% of his happiness. The rest is just noise. He stops chasing cash flow and starts chasing flow states. The Stoics practiced memento mori, remember you must die. It sounds morbid, but for Elias, it is the ultimate liberation. It destroys the fear of failure. When you realize the game ends for everyone, you stop playing by everyone else's rules. You stop worrying about the market volatility of public opinion. You realize that generational wealth isn't just the money you leave to your children, it's the example you set for them on how to live a life that is actually yours. He is stepping out of the rat race and into the arena of purpose. He is no longer a consumer of distraction, he is an investor in his own legacy. He understands now that money is infinite, the government prints more every day. But time? Time is the only true scarcity. And he is done negotiating. The ledger is balancing. The debt is clearing. But the hardest part is yet to come. Because once you buy back your time, you have to face the terrifying question of what to do with it. Elias has escaped the cage. Now, he must learn how to fly without crashing. Seneca asked a question that terrifies the modern consumer: what if you lost it all tomorrow? Most men live in terror of this question. They build walls of gold to keep the fear out. Elias does the opposite. He invites the fear in for dinner. He practices voluntary discomfort. He realizes Elias sits across from his fear. But who will survive the meal? Subscribe for part 2.